Think about your daily news feed for a second, or even just the phone that's probably in your pocket right now.
Yeah.
You know, the lines between what's real and what's not seem, well, blurrier all the time.
And that feeling of being watched, that constant surveillance, it's everywhere.
Exactly. It sounds like something straight out of a dystopian novel, right? Which brings us to today's deep dive. George Orwell's incredible and frankly terrifying novel, 1984.
Mm-hmm. And it's such a crucial book because it's not just a story, is it? It really works on two levels. It feels like a political prophecy in some ways, but maybe more importantly, it's a deep philosophical warning.
That's what we want to unpack today, how 1984 really breaks down the machinery of authoritarian control.
And why its ideas about, language, memory, psychological fear, why they still hit so hard today in our world of constant information and maybe post-truth politics.
Okay, so let's start with that prophecy versus warning idea. Orwell imagined things like telescreens, these two-way monitors everywhere. It's kind of spooky how much that feels like today.
It really is. You look at CCTV, facial recognition, all the data harvested online. Mm-hmm. It's not far off. But maybe what Orwell didn't fully see is how much we participate willingly.
Right. Like social media, it's almost a kind of voluntary surveillance, isn't it? We offer up the data ourselves.
And the information control aspect. The ministry of truth. It's hard not to see parallels with, say, deepfakes, or how algorithms shape what news you see, or even just straight-up fake news campaigns.
But you said it's deeper than just predicting tech, the philosophical warning.
Yeah.
What's the core of that?
I think it's that unchecked power doesn't just want to control your actions, it wants to control your mind. It aims to dictate reality itself, what's true, what you remember, even how you feel.
Like internal thought policing.
Exactly. Even the self-censorship we sometimes see today, maybe driven by fear of online backlash or, cancel culture, it's a subtle pressure to conform in thought.
So if the party, Big Brother, could control information and watch everyone, how did they actually enforce that control on an individual level? What were their tools?
Well, this is where Orwell's genius really shows. They had specific, terrifying mechanics. First off, language itself. Newspeak.
Right, newspeak. The idea was to shrink the dictionary, wasn't it?
Precisely. To narrow the range of thought by literally removing the words for things like rebellion or freedom. If you don't have the word, how can you even form the thought? It's designed to make thought crime literally impossible.
And then there was doublethink. That one's always been hard to wrap my head around.
It's insidious. Holding two completely contradictory ideas in your mind at the same time and accepting both.
Like the party slogans. War is peace. Freedom is slavery.
Ignorance is strength.
Yeah.
It breaks down your ability to think logically, to trust your own perception. If the party says 2 + 2 = 5, well, you work to believe it.
Wow. So it's a constant mental assault.
Absolutely. And tied into that is rewriting history. The Ministry of Truth constantly changed records so the party was never wrong. History was a palimpsest, always being scraped clean and rewritten.
Who controls the past controls the future. That slogan is just bone-chilling.
It really is. Removes any anchor to objective reality.
Okay, so language control, history control. What about just raw fear, the psychological aspect?
Oh, definitely. Constant surveillance created this baseline of fear. Even showing the wrong expression could be face crime. But the ultimate tool was Room 101.
Room 101, that's where they take you to face your absolute worst fear, yes.
Yes, whatever it is that terrifies you most. It wasn't just torture. It was designed to break your spirit completely. To make you betray everything you hold dear. Think of Winston screaming, "Do it to Julia, not me."
He betrays the person he loves to save himself.
Exactly. It destroys your inner self, your loyalty, your love.
Mm-hmm.
The party aimed to eradicate those private loyalties because things like love and intimacy create bonds stronger than ideology. They even turn children into spies against their own parents.
It's a complete demolition of basic human connection. But what about the majority, the Poles? They were like 85% of the population. They weren't under that intense scrutiny, were they?
Not in the same way, no. The party controlled them differently, mostly through, apathy and distraction. Things like the lottery, mindless entertainment prole feed.
So keep them busy with trivial stuff and they won't cause trouble.
Pretty much. They were largely apolitical. It's almost like this unspoken deal. Basic survival and cheap entertainment in exchange for freedom and political awareness. Kind of like the pigs in Animal Farm, keeping the other animals down while they enjoy the privileges. Complacency was key.
Given all that, language control, rewriting history, psychological terror, engineered apathy, is resistance even possible? Winston tries, but in the end...
In the end, he loves Big Brother.
Yeah.
It suggests individual resistance against such a total system is maybe futile, that people can be broken, that men are infinitely malleable, as O'Brien says.
That's incredibly bleak. Is there any hope at all in the book?
I think there is, actually. A small glimmer. Orwell writes that the proles had stayed human. They retained their basic emotions, their connections, even if primitive. He seems to suggest the potential for future change lies with them, with that fundamental humanity.
And the belief that 2 + 2 make 4, that objective truth still exists somewhere.
Exactly. And maybe the novel itself, the act of writing it and us reading it, is a form of resistance, keeping these warnings alive.
So, bringing it back to today, what are the big takeaways for us? What should we be thinking about after this deep dive?
Well, first, I think it's the absolute urgency of defending truth. Questioning narratives, demanding evidence, preserving the idea of objective reality, that feels more important than ever.
And protecting language, maybe? Resisting jargon and euphemisms that hide meaning?
Definitely. And maybe just as vital, nurturing real human connection. Love, loyalty, empathy, the things the party tried to destroy. Those are a bulwark against dehumanization.
You have to fight apathy too, right? Not trade principles for comfort or a false sense of security.
Absolutely. So 1984 isn't necessarily a crystal ball showing exactly what will happen. It's more like a mirror showing us dangerous possibilities.
You see, the real question isn't, are we living in 1984 now?
No, I think the real question is, are you willing to do the hard work? Protecting language, protecting memory, protecting truth, protecting love, to make sure we never do.